locked away for gunning down 2 people nearly 20 years ago. Why this man says he should be released from prison, and what the notorious crime organization, the Yakuza, have to do with it.
Good evening, and mahalo for joining us on this Monday, April 1st.
That's right. A convicted double murderer will soon find out if his 40-year prison sentence will be cut in half.
After spending nearly 20 years in prison, Raita Fukusaku still maintains his innocence and points to the Japanese mob as the triggerman. Manolo Morales joins us now with more. Manolo?
Well, Justin, Fukusaku was found guilty of murdering Japanese psychic Kototome Fujita and her son Goro Fujita in 1994. Fukusaku says he was merely an accomplice and was forced to take the blame by Japanese organized crime, the Yakuza, which is why he shouldn't serve his full sentence of 40 years.
I didn't kill my friend and his mother, but, you know, what I did is I didn't stop them, and I couldn't save them. It's my responsibility.
Imprisoned in an Arizona jail cell, Fukusaku still maintains his innocence as he pleaded his case by teleconference to the Hawaii Parole Board. Fukusaku was found guilty of shooting 56-year-old Kototome Fujita and then burning down her apartment on Piikoi Street. Her son's body was found hours later. He was also shot to death. Prosecutors say Fukusaku wanted $20,000 from Goro and his mother, and when they didn't give him the money, he shot them.
This was deliberate. It was planned. It was planned based on his attempt to, the defendant's attempt to obtain $20,000.
Fukusaku was sentenced to life in prison. Prosecutors are asking the parole board that Fukusaku serve at least 70 years, but defense attorneys say he should only serve 20 years, which would be coming up in just days. They say the jury never determined that Fukusaku was actually the shooter, so he was convicted as an accomplice.
The fact remains is that if he was convicted as an accomplice, he should be sentenced as an accomplice, not the person that pulled the trigger.
The attorney who represented Fukusaku nearly 20 years ago also testified at the parole board hearing, saying his client was the fall guy for the Yakuza, who had its own reasons for wanting Kototome Fujita and her son dead.
She was a spiritual advisor and took the secrets in of some of the most powerful people in Japan. That included prime ministers, corporate chiefs, and those involved in the Yakuza.
Whether Mr. Fukusaku was the actual shooter or was just a party to it, the crime is still equally heinous, equally callous, and shows a disregard on his part as well.
Now, the Hawaii Paroling Authority will make a decision within the next couple of weeks. Manolo Morales, KHON2 News.